What's up? So today, guys, we're going to be looking at 10 things in Fortnite that Epic either worked on or completed that never actually got added into the game. Now, despite Epic Games constantly updating Fortnite, there are actually a lot of skins, emotes, items, and weapons that don't make it into the game. And today we're going to be looking at 10 of the most interesting things that never did. Now, before we do get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, just watch all the way through to the video, see what you think of the channel, and maybe I'll get your subscription at the end. Anyways, though, let's get into it. All right, so coming in at our number 10 spot, you might have clicked on it from the thumbnail. You're probably thinking, what is this absolute clickbait? Skirmish tracks the eye of the storm. Well, yes, actually, it does. So Epic Games was actually working on a design for an item that essentially what it would do is you look up on your map, and as you can see from the gameplay, it would show you where the next circle was going to be. And what's really funny about this is it was never actually supposed to be added when it did. It only was featured in the game for about an hour due to an Epic Games employee mistake. So this was in the game for about an hour and a half, and what happened was it was supposed to be the jetpack that was finally getting added in, and I guess somewhere along the line someone messed up the code or whatever, and this got implemented instead. Now, you can tell that this thing was obviously still being worked on and was not a final product because of, well, obviously, like, everything just doesn't match up. On the ground and on the player's back, it's basically the Skirmish back bling, which I'm assuming was a placeholder. Then if obviously you look at the right bottom corner, that's just this weird backpack, which doesn't make sense either. And then when he actually pulls it out in the gameplay, it's like this completely other item. My guess is that they were just working on all the coding of it still, and they just had like Skirmish in as a placeholder item, but it's still very interesting. That was back in May, and we have never seen it added into the game since, and honestly, it sounds like something that's so overpowered it probably will never get added in. Moving on to our number 9 spot, this is going to be the Airstrike Launcher. So this was a weapon that was data mined from a very reliable source. The Reddit account and subreddit Fortnite Leaks is very reliable, and I mean, over the last year, their evidence or their information, it's almost always been true. And in one of their data mines, they came out with 6 weapons. So they had C4, the P90 or compact SMG, the Easter egg launcher, and the thermal scope. It also saw what looked like as the initial design for stink bombs, but really what's interesting is the rocket kind of weapon in the middle, which was titled Airstrike. Now, this might look familiar to PvE players, but it was actually in the code for Battle Royale, which had people very interested and confused as to, is this coming to the game? And if so, is it a literal airstrike? Because that sounds a little bit ridiculous. Now, it fortunately was never released to Battle Royale. Some people speculate that maybe it was the guided missile or something like that, just reskinned. But at the end of the day, it, again, never was released. All right, so moving on to number 8, this is going to be a very interesting emote. It's Storm Salutation. Salute the storm, or as you might say in Smash Bros, salute the sun. A salute to the storm, if you will. Or if you were Wii Fit Trainer, perhaps salute the sun. But in all seriousness, this was actually kind of a play off of an emote. I've never played Witcher, but apparently it's from Witcher. And I think the reason this never got added in was just due to the legal issues that Epic Games has been facing recently. They probably just didn't want to make that situation any worse than it already is. Now, moving on to our number 7 spot, this is actually a game mode that has been highly requested from the community, and it's trios. Now, obviously you can't play 100-man Battle Royale in trios, but bear with me. Twitter user Lucas7Yoshi did some data mining, and here's what he found just only a month ago. So it says trios, and then the description for that value is classic Battle Royale with 3-person squads. I mean, really, go no further than that. It's pretty obvious evidence that Epic has at least been thinking about it. And my guess as to what this would have been if I had saw this a month ago was, well, they're releasing all these game modes new game mode every day throughout Christmas time, and it's probably going to be one of those game modes, except knowing a month later now, it's obviously not. And I don't know if this is something that is eventually going to come into the game. I wouldn't be surprised, but it is very interesting to see that, they've obviously thought about it quite a bit. They've even got it in the game code, but it's just not existent. And honestly, I really would like to see a trios mode. It's kind of annoying to go into a squads game one man down, and this, it might kind of balance things out a little bit. plus reduce the ridiculousness that is squads mode. All right, now moving on to our number 6 spot. This is K-pop, and no, I'm not talking to you, Casey Neistat. I'm talking about the skin. So back in September, there was a Twitter account, Fortnite Leaks, that actually data mined this skin. And we know that this skin has never been released. So the general logical conclusion of what this skin was is probably a China or maybe Korean promotional skin that never ended up actually happening. It really makes sense that this was going to be a China promotional skin because Fortnite actually got banned in China, so maybe they were planning on releasing it and then all these issues came in and they just never got around to it. And if that is the case, then there's a probably very low chance that we will ever actually see the skin released. I mean, who knows? It's still a nice looking skin and there's no point in wasting an asset, so maybe they will just bring it to the general store. But as far as we know now, it's never been released. It was probably a Chinese exclusive and it's not being released in China. Okay, so moving down to number 5, this is going to be something that probably a lot of you guys were expecting to see, the hoverboard. I reached out to you guys on Twitter just asking if there was anything you wanted me to specifically cover, and this was the big one. The hoverboard was something that was actually supposed to be released in the last few weeks, and it's still not here. Now, why isn't the hoverboard here? Well, if I had to make a guess myself, I would say that it's probably the same reason we saw shopping carts removed like 18 times over the span of a month. All the bugs Epic faced with shopping carts definitely helped the development of quad crashers and ATKs, but this is something that's quite different. From a development standpoint, I'm sure that there are a lot of different bugs you would face when putting this into the game, and my honest guess is just they needed to postpone it. That is to say, the reason that they postponed it is because it's just buggy. That being said, there have been a few glitches that people have been able to use them in creative mode, but as far as this video is being recorded, it's not out yet. Now, coming in at our number 4 spot, this is something that's a little bit out there, but honestly to me is one of the coolest things that have never been released. And this is a unique animation for the chug. So this was a topic from almost a year ago, right around when the chug actually came to Fortnite. So this comes from Reddit user apriest13, and here's what it says. I love the chug. I think it's a fun addition that has allowed me to surprise enemies by returning to a fight at full health. But gosh darn it, when I go to drink the frickin' thing, it's the same animation as the shield potions. And a part of me really wants to see my character hoisting that jug over their head and downing it because it would look hilarious. Yes, I 1000% agree with you. I want a chug animation, but that's not the point of this video. No, we're talking about stuff Epic actually worked on. So on the same day that this post was made, an employee at Epic responded, "There's a custom animation in progress. Should have it to you guys before long." And that was a year ago. Now, 5 months later, the same employee actually followed up saying this. Okay, so here's what happened. I saw the original post way back then, and literally that same day, I was in a playtest and drank a chug with a unique animation. It was rough, but it was working, so I was psyched, and I replied to the post that it was coming before long. This is probably why Mooney, who's a higher-up developer, tells us not to post stuff having to do with timing in other departments, because he's in design, and this was more of an animation section of Epic. Furthermore, he was also new to the company, so he didn't really know the policies that regarded this. So anyways, he also then goes on to basically say that it is eventually coming, just who knows how long. So really, at least we can take away from that it is something that they've thought about, it's something that they've worked on, but at the end of the day, we don't know if it will ever come to Fortnite. I mean, it's literally been a year. All right, so moving on to our number 3 spot. This is something that I've already talked about, so I won't dwell on too long, but it's China exclusives. There's a few different backbling, penguin and insignia, as well as a couple kind of weird pickaxes that are basically Chinese exclusive items. If you want to hear more about that, I've got 2 videos ranking all the rarest backbling and rarest pickaxes, but basically they were Chinese exclusive things. Now that it's banned, they might be coming to like normal Fortnite servers, but at this point it is really hard to say. Anyways, moving on to our number 2 spot. This is a walking version of the best mates emote. So this is probably the thing that I am most sad about not ever seeing in the actual build of Fortnite, because it's awesome. Oh my god, I mean, what more could I ask for? Okay, it's already one of the coolest emotes out there, And then they were actually, as you can see, working on a walking version of that emote. First of all, it would be the only emote of that kind, and second of all, it would then forever be known as the greatest emote of all time. And I mean, you can literally see that the slight difference in as far as the unused animation goes of the walking version versus the standing still version. Now, it's very sad that it's non-existent, but maybe someday we'll see it. Please, Epic Games, bring it to me. Moving down to our final spot here, the reason I kind of saved this for last and I guess ranked it number 1 is it's something that's been in the game files for so long and is so logically something that should have been part of Fortnite. I guess what I'm saying is it's such a mystery that it never got added. That's why I think this is such a cool idea. And these are winners umbrellas. Now I'm not talking your basic winners umbrellas, just get 1 win in a season, although still hard for me. No, I'm talking an actual system, kind of not like the battle pass. 50 wins, bronze umbrella. 100 wins, you get a silver umbrella. 300 wins, maybe gold umbrella. No, the numbers are actually not clear, but what is clear is over a year ago, okay, I've seen this clickbait since back in 2017 with Fortnite. There, in the game files, have been varying colors of the normal winner's umbrella. So we all know the basic winner's umbrella. It's blue, it's pretty simple. We've also got a bronze, a gold, and then 2 kind of weird colors, a silver and what is supposedly platinum. I wonder if there really is a platinum, and that might just be a tweaking of the normal winner's umbrella, but absolutely in the game files is a gold, bronze, and silver. And the mystery behind this is just, why hasn't Epic released it? It's a great idea. It would give the good players, the long-term players, a lot of status. They've been in the files for over a year, so I can't see why they wouldn't be added in, but at the end of the day, they haven't been added in. But yeah, I want them. Anyways though guys, that is going to wrap up this video. I really hope you enjoyed this one. It was honestly a lot of fun to do the research for this. So if you've got any other suggestions of things that I missed, comment down below. Maybe I'll do another one of these. And other than that, really, if you watched all the way through and you're new to the channel, maybe I earned your subscription. If you're already subscribed, maybe I earned that like. And that's it, man. That's it. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you later.